What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. In honor of the brand new OG Death Knight getting an Ultimate Death Knight form, I thought I'd explore some of the common champs in the game and see if there's actually any usable common champs that we can use in the mid to late game or anywhere in the game, to be honest. And we found a couple good ones. There's one specific one that I want to talk about today, and it's not this guy right here. It's the hound next to him, Death Hound. The thing that makes Death Hound special is his A1 neck bite. Attacks one enemy, will ignore shield and block damage buffs, will ignore defense if this attack is critical. Now there's a lot of champions in the game that actually have this ability. Mountain King, for example, has it on his A3 in different variations as well. Some will ignore defense, some won't. Some have an extra ability, like Mortu Macabre actually has the ability to make it so you can't be revived if he kills you with the ability, and he has one on his secret skill. So there's many champs that have this. Faceless is another one. They hit really, really hard. But none of those guys have this on their A1 like Death Hound does, which is what makes him unique in the game. And that's kind of cool that there's a common, uncommon, or rare champion that has some kind of unique ability or utility in the game, such as Death Hound here. Now the A2 is pretty good too. This one's attack based. This one's defense based. Nah, the A2 attacks one enemy, places a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. Damage inflicted is proportional to defense. Now this could be good for something like Clan Boss or some other area of the game. When I build a champion, I like to build a champion for one area specifically. I like to focus primarily on that one area. And then after that, I like to see if there's more utility. Maybe they can offer a second area in the game, or third or fourth, where they actually add value. So for this champion specifically, I have him built for the arena. Now, I suppose Clan Boss, Hydra, some other stuff like that, you could build him for that, but it would require an entirely different build. Let's go ahead and check out the reviews here real fast. It says Demon Lord 4.4. I don't believe he'll actually live up to that number, but maybe for the early game, maybe for a brand new account, maybe for somebody, that might be true. We'll explore that later into the game, later into the video. We'll check out some other areas as well. One of the areas I really want to check out is arena offense and arena defense, which he has low scores, 3.2 and 2.9. I think this is going to be his best area of the game. And then we have the dungeons. We got Hydra 4.4, so there you go. Another area where we'll test him out and see if he's actually any good. Now I'm expecting the arena offense and defense to be a little bit slightly above average in terms of usage and utility, just because of that A1. And what we're going to do is we're going to pair him with ally attack. We take a look at his base stats right here: 10k HP, almost 11, 900 attack, 573 defense, 94 speed. All these stats are fairly bad when it comes to base stats in the game, but that's to be expected because he is a common champion. We're not expecting no Rotos here, nothing like that. So the question is, can we make do with him? Can we actually make him survivable? So I think ally attack is the best way to go about it. And I think what we're going to do with him is we're going to go try him in the arena and see what he can do. Now, I think what we're going to focus on is a couple different areas of the game where we attack specific teams with him to make use of the A1 to its fullest, like against the block damage, for example, against shields. So we'll find some super tanky teams and let Death Hound go at him and see if he can actually take them down. So it's going to be very, very, very interesting. Now, I put him into my arena defense team, and spoiler alert, I'll let you guys know right now that it's pretty tricky. Like, teams are attacking me, and of course there's going to be teams that win, naturally, but there's actually teams that lose. Like, Death Hound is actually, pulling out a couple wins on the defensive arena side, and it's legit teams he's going against too. So there's some legit teams that are actually dying to Death Hound, and I think that's very, very, very interesting. Now, one of the areas that I find Death Hound can be very beneficial is against telecast type teams. So I think one of the best areas of utility to try him out in is against shields, where he can kill people without knocking off the shield exactly and the block damage buff. So when it comes to the block damage buff, there's a lot of champions in the game that have that. Goffred Brassclad, for example, has a pretty cool passive ability where if an ally is about to get killed by a fatal hit, blocks incoming damage and places a block damage buff on them for 1 turn. Now, under an ally attack scenario, you can actually trigger the block damage, and if you have Mr. Death Hound last in the rotation, he's the last spot there, he'll hit last, and if the block damage buff is up, he will kill that champion. So we can test that out here with Mr. Heffrak. We got Goffred Brassclad. We got Heffrak here. Obviously, Heffrak's going to be protected. They want someone to die. They don't expect Heffrak to die first. But that's what ends up happening here, and it goes right through that block damage buff like it ain't nothing. Now, some of these super tanky teams, like where you have Helikath, for example. Helikath is pretty nice. Like, he's actually a decent damage dealer in the arena. The block damage buff can actually be very bad for you if you're not stripping it. In this case, we don't have to strip it. We just go right through it like it ain't shit. So under the current scenario, we got a lot of ally attacks here, and the reason why is because it's probably going to take more than one to kill some of these super tanky champions like a Duchess or somebody like that. And when it comes to Death Hound, he's actually a good affinity for a Duchess type team because he's magic, she's obviously spirit. And what happens here with this type of team is when we have one ally attack with Necrit, we can maybe potentially kill somebody. When we have a second ally attack with Cardiel, we're probably going to kill somebody. And then the third ally attack with Lonatharil, we might be able to knock out 2, potentially 3 different targets, line them up like bowling pins, just knock them down, maybe like some dominoes, 1, 2, 3, bam, bam, bam. So, you know, it's a pretty nice team. It doesn't necessarily take 2 minutes to kill everybody. It could take under 30 seconds. It actually can pull off some decent damage here. I'm very surprised by it. So when it actually comes to the clan boss, now I'm not sure exactly what I would say or do when it comes to the clan boss because I'm not going to be able to put up a great score without War Master. Like I said before, I like to build champions specifically for one area of the game, and since I'm building this champion for PvP, I'm going with Flawless Execution for my 6th mastery. But War Master is the way to go for PvE, and I feel like when this guy is putting up about 40k and up towards of in the neighborhood of 80k basically against the clan boss, you know, per hit, depending. The War Master is going off for about 84,000 there, and that's definitely more than what he's hitting for. So obviously War Master is not going to go off every single time you go and hit 100% of the time, but if it were, I mean, that's easily over double his damage. I don't think Flawless Execution is terribly bad, but I do think that War Master would do a lot more damage, so it's hard to gauge him using Flawless Execution for the clan boss. But at the same time, he could potentially be decent for a low-level team because he's hitting decently hard here. So maybe when you're fighting some of that low-level clan boss, you're fighting a hard, brutal maybe, stuff like that. You don't have an account with a bunch of people built up. Now, the one thing I would say that's kind of difficult in that scenario is you're probably not going to have masteries on all your champions, nonetheless, a common one like Death Hound. And when you're struggling as like a free-to-play account, you're definitely not going to want to invest all the resources into somebody like Death Hound. So I do want to try him out in early game arena just to see how viable he is because he needs to be protected. That's one thing for sure. You're going to use him in the arena, you got to protect him. I got Necrit over there, is a fantastic support champion, and going to make him super tanky, going to be able to make Death Hound actually last. You got Lonatharil there with the shield. You got Cardiel with the revive on death, just in case. And it does get triggered every once in a while because Death Hound is super weak. So, I mean, it will go off. It's pretty useful. You know, I'm really liking him actually, though. And I would say that he has some use to me. Like, I'm going to actually keep him in the arena. I'm actually going to have a team with him, and we'll continue using him. And I'm actually very excited to try out some other people in the same spot that I have him in. Obviously, Lonatharil is the brand new fusion, so you get a little, you know, idea of what he can do here. But somebody like Mountain King with the shield set to go with Lonatharil on the bolster set, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like the bolster set can go on Mountain King, Lonatharil. you know, shield goes and stacks with it. That's just absolutely nuts. Or maybe Rhodos, you know, a different single target champion could do a lot more damage. I use Candrafon more often than not. But Death Hound, I think, has a place for me, and he has an actual little soft spot in my heart now because this guy is pretty cool, man. You got a common champion that's actually working in the arena from about gold 5 on down, and there's people attacking me that are very surprised, I'm sure, when he kills them because they don't even try to attack me a second time. They just go, oh, shit, that's a fucking trap. And they don't want to come back for a second try. So, I mean, that's pretty wild. That's a common champion killing people. So, go over the kit. Let's go check him out real fast. He does have some interesting synergies when it comes to the A1 skill. And you do have to build him up mastery-wise, just a little bit different than some of the other champions in the game. Same for guys like Faceless when you're really trying to hit hard at A3. Go ahead and check him out. All right, so our Death Hound, I have in 3 crit damage set, 2 pieces. Go ahead and check it out now. Got the weapon right here, 6-star. Got speed, accuracy, HP. I honestly don't have very many weapons like this in the game, and they're already being used by the people like Trunda and stuff like that. So, you know, I didn't have a lot of selection to put on them. But what I did want to do is get max crit rate. I also wanted to get as much crit damage as possible because we're already ignoring defense. We don't need to have like defense down. We don't need to have a savage set. We don't need to have the cruel set. Nothing like that. It's not going to benefit us at all. So we went for straight up more crit damage. Now, Helm Smasher on this guy is not going to be a benefit at all, obviously, because we already have the defense being ignored. So what we want to go do for that is actually go for Executioner, get the extra crit damage. The same for the sets. Go ahead and check out the Helm. We got crit rate, crit damage, HP, defense, helping them be a little bit more tanky and survivable, although not by much. More HP, crit damage, resistance, defense. And again, the selection here is not very good. I didn't have like a ton of selection available. Finally got some attack percentage right here. And again, this base attack is already super low as it is. So we need as much attack percentage on here as possible. And crit damage too. So we got HP percentage, speed. Now, speed I didn't care that much about because we have all the ally attacks. As long as Necrit's going, Cardiel, Lonatharil, we don't need him to go fast. As long as they're taking out the guys we need to take out when we can. We don't care when his turn comes around, basically. So we got crit rate here. We got the speed. Just went over that one. Attack percentage on the chest. Attack, speed, crit rate, accuracy. This one's actually pretty decent. And we do need accuracy to land the poison on the A2 if you want to fight him for the clan boss. We have attack percentage, boots, defense percentage, resistance, attack. Not the best in the world. Again, I wasn't going for speed though when it came to stuff. And if I have him being the slowest in the clan boss team, then I can make sure buffs like counterattack, shield stay on. So let's go ahead and go over the skills. Now, one thing to mention is he cannot be ascended. We got 0 stars in this guy. So you can't get the neck piece and you can't get the banner. You do get a ring though. That's important. So we have 5% chance to counterattack when hit. Not very good. It's not very much, but it does get triggered occasionally. So we went over the skills already. He's very easy to book up, so why not? You got 4 books in the A1. You got 4 books in the A2. 2-turn cooldown and a 5% poison is pretty nice. Pretty nice. So Masteries, let's go over them. All right, so for the Masteries here, I did not need Deadly Precision. We already hit the crit cap without getting it, so that helped out a lot by allowing us to get Blade Disciple with the extra 75 attack base. He already has the weak 900 attack base, so it's very beneficial here. We don't need Shield Breaker because he's already ignoring shields. We have Heart of Glory, increases damage inflicted by 5% when attacking at full HP. Necrit is going to keep him at full HP. The shields are going to keep him up. So that's good to go right there. And then we have Keen Strike for the extra crit damage. Life Drinker for the 5% heal when under 50% HP. We have Single Out. Bring It Down. And then Important Methodical, we want to make sure that we're hitting with the A1 as many times as possible and getting it some more damage here. Very nice. We have Cycle of Violence and Stoked to Fury. So you're not going to get very many debuffs on you in this kind of a setup, but it does happen. So there it is. It does happen. Flawless Execution. Now let's go over these. War Master, you'd probably want this one if you're going to do a clan boss team. Helm Smasher right here is completely pointless for this champion. Giant Slayer, go with War Master instead. And like I said, for this guy, I'm going with Flawless Execution for the extra crit damage. Then we went with the defense tree, standard build, pretty much for an arena build. We got Blast Proof, Tough Skin, Resurgent, Delay Death, and Retribution, where we get the counterattack. He's obviously going to take a lot of damage when he gets hit, so this will get triggered, most definitely. All right, so final stats we have. 3,400 attack is not much, 24,000 HP, 1,500 defense, speeds 134, crit rates 100, crit damage still low, 176, resist 118, accuracy 71. Wasn't really going for like, to land the poisons or nothing like that. So in the arena, guy's working out decently. And I would say like my build form is pretty average. It's not very good. As long as you can keep this guy alive, I think he does have some utility. He does have some value. He does have some use. So, where I would put him in the game, probably, let's go over the reviews again. Demon Lord, maybe early game Demon Lord, he can actually be decent as a damage dealer. Maybe in like a Skull Crusher team, if you get like counterattack or something like that. But you got to protect him. If he doesn't stay alive, there's no point to it. Campaign locations, I wouldn't really try him there. Force Keep, Spider's Den, Magic Keep. I'm not using him anywhere else. I wouldn't try him anywhere else. Maybe Minotaur's Labyrinth, obviously, for trying to get some books for him. Masteries. Hydra. Talk about Hydra in 1 second. Arena offense, arena defense. Arena defense, I would say, normally when people see Candrafon, they don't attack them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm only going to get attacked by people in Platinum. So, I like him for arena defense because he's going to trick people into attacking me and get me plus points. So if people attack me against my Candrafon team, obviously, they already know they're going to beat me. So it's all negatives, 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 negatives. If I get attacked, it's negative. This gives me an opportunity, putting him into a team, to get some positives, and I'll get attacked more often as well. So I'm putting up way more positives. I'm not seeing a lot of losses, not more than usual. So I would say that it's pretty, positive in that regard. Arena offense, I'm going to give this guy a 4 when it comes to these types of areas here, because he has use. I think he has definite use. So I don't regret leveling him up at all. And I would say that, one of the things is, like, if you're a free-to-play account and you're new, a common champion, like, there's probably not much place for you to be leveling up some guy like that in your account. You'll get some legendaries, like you're about to get Ultimate Death Knight. I think your resources are better spent in champions like that, or even like really good epics, or a Cold Heart, something like that. But for someone like me who's participating in these champion tournaments and trying to win, I'm running out of like different champions to level up occasionally. I could definitely level up champions that are niche. Secret rooms, for example, hard secret rooms, champions that fit these molds. Someone who could do what he does, obviously, which is go through the block damage buff. He has a little bit of utility, so I do not regret using him. If you use a feast on a common champion like him or Death Knight, you get the most points during a champion tournament, champion training tournament. So, I do recommend, if you got the resources for it, you've been wailing out, you've been playing for many years, and you just don't know who to level up or what to do, and you're running out of like ideas, this guy could be a potential possibility for you. I would definitely consider him. So I think he's fun. I think that's something that, we don't talk about in this game enough. It's like the fun factor of things. Like, how fun is this champion? I think when you get killed by a common champion, especially in like arena defense, like, that's kind of fun. Seeing those wins is kind of fun. And then, definitely when you go smash a team like, it's got Necrit, Siphi, Ursaga, and, damage dealer of choice over here, that's fun too. I kind of like it. I'm wondering what people think when they actually see that in their arena defense. Like, I got killed by who? or when they attack my team and they die and they're like, I died to what? Like, they got to be going out of their mind. So last thing here real quick, let's go over the Hydra. Obviously, you want to get that War Master for the Hydra. You know, I don't think that this guy is probably going to be useful for you there. I think this is probably a bunk rating. It's a little high there. But when you first start the game, if you're looking for damage dealers, like I said, maybe you've got a Skull Crusher or something with a counter attack, where this guy can be like attacking a lot with his A1. He could do some damage. So, I mean, he is going to ignore defense. So, not bad. It's not bad. Maybe he has like a role on like normal Hydra for a team that's brand new, free to play, and or even like just a new team, period, where you know, somebody doesn't have everybody leveled up. But I mean, it's still, it'd be hard for me to justify giving this guy a level 60, giving him 5-star chickens when I'm like really early game, because like you're not fighting normal Hydra for very long. But when you're early game, I've seen these clans before, you know, they definitely aren't doing very well in Hydra to begin with. So maybe he could be viable there, you know. I'm not going to say he's not. I'm not going to knock him. But I would also say that it's very highly unlikely that you're probably using this guy as a Hydra champion. Like, I just don't see it, to be honest. Maybe Demon Lord. Most definitely arena offense, arena defense. That's what I'm building him for. Make sure you do your due diligence on the Masteries. You know, you might not want to use the same exact setup I'm using. There's most definitely more than one way to skin a cat. So, you know, build the champion like I would recommend, where you build them for a specific area and then use the things that make sense to you. So I think that what makes sense to me is this stuff right here. I use them in the arena, and I got them in the crit damage set here. So, you know, if there was better gear on them out here for him, you know, I'd definitely put him in that. But I'm pretty satisfied with the results, all things considered. You know, I thought he would do a lot worse than he is doing. He is most definitely putting in some work, and I wasn't expecting that. So, all right, so that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys found it useful, interesting, and informative, because, I mean, Death Hound for today, well, before this video, before I leveled him up, before I tried him and made this video, you know, I didn't really realize how good he actually was. I definitely think he's a little bit underrated, and maybe you'll find him useful for your account. Maybe not. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think. You guys have a great day. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to see some more videos like this one, you guys take it easy. Peace.